Now, DiBella.
You got your ferocious hat on. Nice.
Hey, that's
nice.
it.
I'll talk to anybody with a ferocious hat on.
Now, that's it. Now, deep stare down just before. What was your thoughts?
My thoughts are that this is a super meaningful fight. It's a super meaningful fight for Loma because he's not a young fighter anymore, and he's trying to get that title back and make himself relevant among the biggest stars in the sport again. And for George, it's one fight to superstardom. It's one fight to probably a Hall of Fame, opportunity. I mean, this is everything for him. George needs to perform, and when you're Loma's age, you always need to perform as an older fighter, right? Because you're one bad performance potentially away from retirement. So it's a tremendously important fight for both guys. I think they both approached this with a lot of passion. Neither one of those guys was going to flinch. They're two men's men. They weren't going to flinch. They would have stood there for 45 minutes and stared at each other. Multiple attempts to break them up. It didn't work. But it was a long stare down because I think that stare down reflects how much this fight means to both guys.
Now, will it be a critical moment for both men? For example, Lomachenko, what's the next step if he's to lose?
I don't know. I mean, that's a very personal decision he's going to have to make. For George, I think it's a matter of how the fight goes, too. George, those Haney fights were difficult for George. I think this is a better matchup for him. If he performs well here, really well, forget about the result. If he shows up with a George Kambosos performance and gives a great performance, if he wins, anything can happen. If he wins, he can fight anyone, Ryan Garcia, anyone. There are huge opportunities. If it's a great fight, both men will fight again, right? And I think the best hope right now, I'm hoping for a great fight, and I believe it's going to be a great fight.
Now, just touching on Ryan Garcia, he's just failed 2 performance-enhancing drug tests. VADA, what's your thoughts on that?
I believe in strict liability. You're not supposed to have that shit in your system. And if it's in your system, you have to pay a price. I'm a big Ryan Garcia fan. He's a great athlete. He didn't prepare perfectly for that fight. He seemed very distracted. He seemed to be a mess. He blew out the weight. He failed a drug test. He admits himself he drank and smoked weed the whole fucking preparation of the fight. It's not how you want to do it. But his left hand is serious. He can punch. He's an athlete. He can fight. He has a huge following. He's a remarkable fighter and athlete. I think I'd like to see him get some more control over his life. I'd like to see it be a smoother ride for Ryan, not only for the sake of boxing and his career, but the sake of his mental health.
That's it. Now,
I'm a fan. I say this with love. I don't say it with any kind of negativity.
Now, do you believe that fight will be moved to a no contest?
Yeah, probably. It's a New York State Athletic Commission, and he was cleared of the second substance, but he still has 2 tests where he failed on the first substance, and I think New York, in all likelihood, is going to move it to a no contest.
Too easy. Thank you for your time, Lou.